It's like life is in the fourth quarter. It's crunch time and I need a scorer. Ready to be in the game and not a bench warmer.
Why I feel the way I feel when it's presented, why, certain things arise at that moment and I feel this way. Once you identify the problem, once you identify the actual cause of it, then that's when the healing can begin. Gradually, that's what that means. Gradually ease your way into facing your fears. Welcome back to the channel. It's that guy, so fly, Energy Eli. Please do make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. So today we're gonna speak about overcoming fears. Now, to some form or fashion or degree, we all have some form of fear, whether we acknowledge it or not. But today I'm just gonna give simple, tips and tactics on ways that we can, overcome them, in a minimal time and really recognize and realize, what actually is a fear and how to overcome it. I think a lot of times, throughout life, we've been told that, a fear is just that we can never overcome it. It can never be, how can I say, solved, and that it'll always be there. It'll always be a deterrent for you to never overcome and ascend to that next level. So like I said, today, I just want to give a bit of, guidance and tips on how you can overcome, any of your fears, worries and doubts that you may have. So without further ado, hey, let's get right into it. Tip number one, name and identify your fear. So you have to actually be able to actually name that fear. For example, if you have a fear of pets, you have to say, hey, I have a fear of pets. So now you've named it, and now you have to recognize, okay, why do I have a fear of pets? Is it because of an incident I might have saw on television as a child? Is it an incident that actually happened to me as a child? Is it the smell of them? Is it, whatever it may be, the way they look, their fur? Identify the problem, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get to the root cause of why there is a problem, and to dig and divulge back years and years and years of fear that's been stacked on top of each other. So you have to go back and do your due diligence and realize, okay, why do I have this fear? I have a fear of bumblebees. Or someone says, why do I have a fear of bumblebees? Is it the noise they make? Is it because I've seen a video where a lady got stung and, this happened to her? We have to go back and find that root cause, For example, another example, a person that's afraid of heights, we have to find that some of this is either we've seen or some of this is inward. And it's a situation where the body just immediately goes into shock and doesn't really know what to do. So find that root cause, identify and name it and find that root cause. And then I'm quite sure if you continue to go back over time, you'll kind of, see, why I have this problem and try your best to eventually one day overcome it in some form or fashion. Now let's get into tip number two. Tip number two, practice mindfulness and self-compassion. Now listen, obviously you've identified the fear. Now you need to practice mindfulness and your compassion amongst that fear. Okay, I've accepted what the fear is. Now let me have a little bit of compassion on myself and realize why I went through all those traumas, why I feel the way I feel when it's presented, why, certain things arise at that moment and I feel this way. Once you identify the problem, once you identify the actual cause of it, then that's when the healing can begin. That's when you can really go in and get to the root, like I stated. Now you're in there, now you're doing the surgical work. Now you're figuring out, okay, this is why such and such I feel this way. This is why the reason it is. You have your moment of clarity and say, wow, that fear was probably thrown on me, from an age I didn't even understand why I was going through that or why I felt that way. So now that you've done your homework, now that you're doing that work, now have a bit of compassion on yourself, because we all feel this way in certain, aspects. It's something that has made us feel for where it's even trying to achieve a goal. Some of us have been told that we're nothing. Some of us have been told that, our environment dictates where we can really go. So once you do that, continue to do your homework. But like I said, have compassion on yourself and just be mindful of what you've been through and where you're trying to go. So let's get into the final and third tip. Now, the final and third tip, gradually face your fears. Now, as we presented in tip 1 and 2, it's led up to tip 3. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna take time, but gradually, that's what that means. Gradually ease your way into facing your fears. Like I stated, if you have a fear of heights, you may want to, maybe get on a plane, or you may want to, maybe go to a tall building and just stand by the window and just, kind of face your fears that way. Maybe you're in a hotel, just look out the window. Face your fears in that way, gradually. I wouldn't suggest, bungee jumping or getting on a hot air balloon. I would say face your fears gradually and take your time, because it is a process. If you're afraid of dogs, I wouldn't get a big old dog or be around someone with a big old dog. I would get be around someone with a very small dog. You can work your way, you can kind of be around it. You can see the tendencies of a dog, how they act, how they react, and it'll be a much easier process. I wouldn't just divulge and jump into something right away trying to face my fears. The same with you trying to accomplish your goals. I wouldn't try to go and be a millionaire today. I would start with, hey, let me get my first 10 to 20K on my own and work my way up to there. See how that feels, see the work I need to put in, face my fears of the challenges and things that's gonna come my way. And I feel as though when it's time that I will be ready. So it's so many ways to face your fears, but the most important thing, as the last tip stated, is gradually face them. Nevertheless, once again, I hope this was very helpful. Once again, my name is TheEnergyEli. Please do make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, I'm out.